live with you. We are back live for the KFJunior final with this young man from America. Starting out of pole position, Logan Sargent for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. With the Brazilian to the right of your screen, that's him right there in the center of your screen right now. From Maringá, south of Brazil, Felipe Drugovich. You can expect fireworks in this race. The KF final was sensational. Denmark first and third. The pole in second, Carol Bash, as we saw just a few moments ago. Will we see an Italian on the top step this afternoon? That's Davide Lombardo from up near Venice, driving the X-Spree kart. And alongside him is this young man from the centre of France, Jean-Baptiste Simonouer. That's his mechanic. Alongside him, Claudio, official Tony Kart racing team driver. Tim Komarov from Russia. The Russians are prolific, aren't they? They now host F1. They had the Winter Olympics last year. FIFA's Football World Cup in a couple of years' time. And there's that many Russians racing here this weekend. We can't count them. How about the Indian, Kushmani from Bangalore in India? Spends most of his time in Great Britain. Despite the fact that he's Indian, he does prefer football to cricket. Huge Chelsea Football Club fan is young Kush. Delightful young kid and a very quick driver. He starts out of grid number 6. As the girls clear the track, so far the rain has held off. You know, last weekend, one of the photographers during the KF final was talking with one of the flag marshals and said, gee, I hope we get these finals in before the rain comes. The flag marshal, who's a local from Muralachese here, I think it will rain in about lap 6. You know what happened on lap 6? It bucketed down. I'm not going to predict the weather anymore. I've given up on the Apple iPhone weather app. It was predicted to be 13 and sunny here. So far it hasn't rained, touch wood. Can we get this next race in before the heavens open here at La Conca Muralachese, the KFJunior final here this afternoon. This is the grid. Sargent, Drugovich, Lombardo, Jean-Baptiste Simonouer, Bogdan Fetisov, Kushmani from India, Sun Yu-Yang from China. What an international field this is. The Venezuelan Sebastian Fernandez out of 8, Frederick Vesti, the energy kart, alongside the driver from Jakarta, Indonesia, Presley Martono. Clement Novalak in 11th. He was in the top 5 in the pre-final. Starts out of 11. One ahead of yet another Dane, Noah Watt, son of the former DTM and Formula 3000 driver Jason Watt. Delighted to have Jason here this weekend. This is Noah's first year in the junior class, and Jason was saying that physically, yeah, it is a step up for young Noah from the 60cc mini class. Says he has dinner at night and goes straight to bed. He's exhausted. But he has driven superbly so far this weekend. Young Noah starts on the 7th row of the grid. The clouds are getting dark here at La Conca Muralachese, the second and final round of the WSK Champions Cup for 2015. We'll have the Super Masters Series kicking off on March 8, where the KZ2 category will join us as well. But right now, the KFJunior class forms up on track, 16 laps, 20 kilometres the distance. Sargent, the American, on pole. Drugovich from Brazil alongside. As we get ready for a start, I can tell you it is starting to rain. The lights go out. Sargent races into the lead. There are drops of water on the window of our commentary box. Not enough to affect the karts. They all race down into turn 1 and turn 2 safely. Your leader Lap number 1 for Ricky Flynn Motorsport is the American Logan Sargent. Felipe Drugovich and Davide Lombardo are fighting for second spot. Jean-Baptiste Minuer from France is back to 5th. That's him with the orange helmet and the Tony kart, just going through the center chicane now. But look at the lead from Logan Sargent. Wow, that is something else after 1 lap. Let's look at the gap. He's done a fastest first sector, a fastest second sector. On lap 1 and 16. 1 of 16, I should say, Logan Sargent is faster than every other driver on the track by half a second. He has made a dynamite start. Drugovich in second spot. Lombardo now trying to fight off the attack from Bogdan Fetisov. Jean-Baptiste Minuer is shown in 5th, but I can tell you he's dropped back to 6th because the Indian driver Kush Maney from Forza Racing has got past him. Sebastian Fernandez is in 7th. Lap 2 of 16. Tyres now comfortably up to temperature. It is still dry, but there is the odd drop of rain around. A lot of these drivers having their first experience of the KFJunior class. A lot of them stepping up out of the 60cc mini class. I'm talking about drivers such as Muzeddin Abdul Ghaffar, Dmitry Bogdanov, Noah Watt, who we mentioned before. And it is a big jump up to this World Championship kart Formula Junior category. You'll remember a week ago, Logan Sargent was sitting in 2nd or 3rd spot in the pouring rain. He looped it. He spun coming into the chicane and dropped back to about 10th spot. Did recover to finish 3rd. Oh, a big incident back in the pack. Oh, you saw that. That was sensational. Nikita Volkov, Noah Watt, Konsta Lapalainen. They came together coming onto the start-finish straight. The yellow flag's out, but they have managed to rejoin. As Felipe Drugovich sets about catching your leader, Logan Sargent. That's Kush Maney, the black race suit for Forza Racing. Down through the chicane, over the ripple strips. Last week it was through the ripple strips. The foam barriers have been erected there to stop drivers shortcutting the track. Last week shortcutting, no, that was the racing line. Over the ripple strip, over the grass, up to 3 meters in fact. I walked the track earlier in the week and you could see tyre marks 3 meters on the inside of where those barriers now are situated. Drugovich, Lombardo in the Esprit chassis. Fastest lap for the young Russian Artem Petrov, driving for Danilo Rossi's racing team. The M99-15 chassis. New homologation year for all these karts. Over the ripple strip. Did you see the Brazilian then? The kart went up onto 2 wheels as Logan Sargent does the same, going into the McLaren curves. We've already got 5 laps down in this KFJunior final. Logan Sargent from the United States has been absolutely faultless. Drugovich lifts the inside rear nicely. That Cosmic kart working really, really well. Jean-Baptiste Minuer is in 5th spot. Back down to 6th now. The young Frenchman, backed by McDonald's. Comes from the centre of France, very shy, timid young driver. But hey, he's really quick. He's in 6th, number 350, the Tony kart. Drugovich and Lombardo on screen now. Lombardo in 3rd, the plain white helmet. Number 335, a look over the shoulder that time from Felipe Drugovich. Into turn 1, nothing in it. Will we see a move this time? Oh, up the inside. Nicely done by Davide Lombardo. He tries to come back on the inside. That's Kush Maney. tries the outside. Drugovic back to fourth and just defends his line to hold on to that spot. Davide Lombardo signals, let's get on with it. What a move, we predicted a look at the inside rear. Oh, full opposite lock by Davide Lombardo. He had that cart turned in unbelievably. The Vega tyres were working really, really hard, but he made it stick. But in the meantime, Kushmani, while we were looking at that replay, is now up into second spot. Davide Lombardo from up near Venice in northern Italy. Very ragged driving style. Not afraid to put a wheel on the ripple strip. As Bogdan Fetisov moves up a spot. Look at the fight for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. Fetisov has now got Jean-Baptiste Minuer right behind him. Then it's the Chinese driver, Yung Sung Yang. One driver out into the grass, short-cutting the track. Well, will that result in a black flag? He has short-cut the track, being pushed wide into the grass, going into the centre chicane. It is absolutely frantic. But meanwhile, Logan Sargent has got a 2-second lead on the rest of the field. We are at half race distance, the KFJunior final here at La Conca Muro Lecese. Jean-Baptiste Minuer, the centre of your screen now with the orange helmet. Kushmani in front of him. Clement Novalak has come from way, way back. The Swiss driver who now lives in Britain is now into 6th spot. I can tell you that the debris flag is being shown, indicating that there are drops of water on the circuit. The race continues. It is full green conditions, but it is starting to rain very, very slightly. Logan Sargent's driving superbly. The driver from the United States of America has got the Italian Davide Lombardo breathing down his neck. The gap is now down to 1 second. It was out to 2. He's catching him. Then it's the driver from Bangalore, India, Kushmani in 3rd spot. The Frenchman, Jean-Baptiste Minuer in 4th. And then Clement Novalak now up into 5th place. Jean-Baptiste in the orange helmet, Novalak. Oh, you can see him get a little bit sideways. It's wet. He's gone off the track. Logan Sargent has gone off the track. He manages to stay in the lead, but only just. The track is wet. It is raining. The KFJunior final continues, but only for another couple of moments. The red flag is out. The red flag is out as per CIK regulations. Oh, how lucky was that? Sargent has now spun. Logan Sargent has now spun, as has Petrov. But the race has been red flagged. Oh, how lucky was the young American. We will go back a lap to when he was leading. Very, very slight rain, but enough to put your race leader off the track. You saw it live on WSK.it. The race director, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari, waves the red flag. That's not him, that's one of the marshals working here at La Conca. But on the start-finish line, that's him to the left of your screen with the red flag, Mr. Alessandro Ferrari. The race director has pulled out the red flag as per CIK regulations. Well, I'm not sure why they're signalling to do another lap. Obviously something we don't know up here in the commentary box. I kind of thought the red flag meant stop. Nevertheless, they do continue on. Back to pit lane. That is why. You can see how greasy it is. The WSK Karting Champions Cup has now turned into a WRC rally event. opposite lot from these drivers. They just try and get back to pit lane. The race has been stopped. It is red flagged. You can see the rain there. It is now coming down. I wonder on what lap the local flag marshals predicted it would come. Last week in the KF final, they said lap 6, lap 7, sure enough. We've got to lap 9 in the KFJunior final. Yes, back to pit lane for a change to Vega wets. So the race has been stopped, but it is not over yet. That part of the track, you can see how wet it is. The rain is coming in from the Adriatic Sea to our, let me see, to our east, west, not, to our east, of course. Yeah, I can see the clouds getting very dark. There is sunlight behind it, but I think we're going to get really, really wet really soon. The KFJunior final has been stopped after lap number 9. Can see the rain coming down. That is Sebastian Fernandez, number 334, to the right of your screen, making it back to pit lane. A couple of stranded carts being brought back in as well. We will backdate a lap. Noah Watt manages to restart, make his way back to the pits. Sebastian Fernandez on screen there. Well, this is where the teams really earn their money. A quick change to Vega wets. We will await official notification from race organisers, but I do suspect we will see a full change to the Vega wet tyres. The WSK Champions Cup coming to you live on WSK.it. Thank you for joining us wherever you are all around the world. That's Noah Watt, number 329, the RFM driver, makes it back to pit lane. The field, we believe, will be reset. The track's actually not that wet water-wise, but it's greasy. There's not exactly standing puddles. But as you saw, our leader, Logan Sargent, going off. As we wait for confirmation from race direction. The KFJunior final, the WSK Champions Cup, La Conca, here on February the 8th. I suppose we shouldn't complain. Most of Italy, indeed most of Europe as we speak, is actually under snow. I believe there was actually about 1 metre of snow in Milan yesterday. Roads are blocked, airports shut down. It's not exactly pleasant here in the south of Italy, but it could be a whole lot worse. They are forecasting close to snow tomorrow, only 5 degrees. It's actually about 8 or 9 degrees at the moment, but very overcast, very dark. Well, the race is not over yet. The cart's being pushed back into Parc Ferme. The slick tyres are coming off. The wet tyres are going on. In the back of his mind, probably actually in the front of his mind, will be the error made by Logan Sargent 7 days ago. He was furious with himself. He did manage to come back home in 3rd spot. As we get underway, you can expect a very determined drive by the young American. Davide Lombardo in the white helmet, the Esprit chassis. You can see how hard they're working the steering wheel. The temperature that was in those Vegas slick tyres is gone. They will be cold. The bitumen is cold. The air is cold. They're running wide as they try and form up. Another lap or so just to build up the temperature in those Vegas will help. Kushmani's getting on with it though. Who's got the setup for these conditions? Sargent starts on the front from Lombardo, Kushmani, Jean-Baptiste Minuer, Clement Novelak. Then we have Felipe Drugovic, Artem Petrov, Presley Martono, Sun Yu Yang, and Lorenzo Colombo. Christian Lundgaard, look out for him in position number 12. The 305 Tony Kart from Ward Racing in Sweden. Desperately trying to get some heat into those tyres and get some traction. We will have another formation lap. You can see the sun starts to set here at La Conca Muro Lecese, right down in the south of Italy. Oh, we've lost one on the straight. It's Davide Lombardo. He's spun on the start-finish line. Oh, that was sensational. The Italian did not collect another driver, but that is how treacherous it is. He has managed to rejoin. Kushmani says, hey, no worries, I'll take second. Davide Lombardo, I'm looking for him. There he goes through now. He's actually trying to rejoin his position. I don't know that he's going to be able to get back up to second by the time we go green, which should be at the end of this lap. Kushmani, that's him right there with the black race suit, Forza Racing, the Tony Kart. The driver from Bangalore, India, is looking really, really good here this afternoon with 5 laps remaining. This KFJunior final, Logan Sargent's not mucking around either. He's ready to get on with it. We are going to go green at the end of this lap. Sargent desperately trying to put heat in the tyres. Now he puts his foot down. We are racing. Kushmani up the inside. Sargent holds him off. Very, very greasy conditions as they make their way through for the first time. I can tell you that Bogdan Fetisov and his countryman Nikita Volkov are on wet tyres. The 2 Russians, let's have a look for them. They're way down the field at the moment. Volkov is in 20 seconds. Fetisov, I can't even see him on our screen. He's that far down, but they are on wets. Every other driver is on slick tyres, including your leader, Logan Sargent. Kushmani up the inside, not quite close enough. As they go up the Ascari Straight into the centre chicane, they try and hook a rim on the inside of that concrete to try and monorail their way through the centre chicane. Bogdan Fetisov and Nikita Volkov are on rain tyres. Bogdan Fetisov was 13th last time round. Where is he now? As they come across the line, I'll tell you where he is. He's right behind. He's in second place. Bogdan Fetisov on wet tyres. Oh, they know something about cold weather in Russia, do they? They know something about the wet. The driver in second is on wets. Your leader, Logan Sargent, is on slicks. He's not going to be able to hold him off. The track is virtually dry, but it's very greasy. This is the move for the lead. This is sensational. He was 13th the first time around. Takes the wide wet weather line. Why wouldn't he? He's on wet weather tyres. Bogdan Fetisov down the inside into the lead. This is sensational. The Russian who elected to go with Vega wets for 5 laps. He says, I don't care if they're canvas at the end. I want to win this race. And he's going to do it if he can hold on for 2.5 more laps. The Tony Kart driver down the inside. Logan Sargent's trying to fight back though. He's got heat into those Vegas slicks. It has stopped raining. The track is getting better. Those Vega wets will be burning up. He doesn't care though. Doesn't matter what they're like at the end of this race. 2 laps to go. Bogdan Fetisov on wet tyres. Nikita Volkov also is on the wets, but he is down a little bit. His countryman is leading. Fetisov leads Sargent. The Cold War has reignited. The Russian leads the American. The Russian looks over his shoulder. Logan Sargent's not giving up. This driver sits very, very low in the cart for Ricky Flynn Motorsport with a lap and a half to go. Oh, has a look up the inside. They go down through the centre chicane for the second last time. Oh, there goes Sargent. Kushmani also. Kushmani. Freaking hell, what a move by the Indian. That was just sensational. Third up into first. The driver from Bangalore, India. Man, that was amazing. The American fights back. Logan Sargent. The American leads the Indian. Fetisov is back to third. Oh, this race has got everything. We are on the last lap. The KFJunior final. Sargent, I think he's going to do it. Why? Because he's determined to make up for the error 7 days ago. The driver for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. It was a brave move by Fetisov and Nikita Volkov to put the wet tyres on, but they've faded. Davide Lombardo on screen. He goes through in 6th spot. A look over the shoulder. Oh, this is fantastic. Well done. Final corner, no mistake this time for the young American, the winner. A look over the shoulder, Logan Sargent. He wins it and he is delighted. Wow. Absolutely sensational. Just brilliant. Kushmani from India came home second. And look at that, from China, Sun Yu Yang was third. The Ricky Flynn Motorsport drivers, first and third. Davide Lombardo, fantastic 4th place. Clement Novalak, excellent result to finish in 5th. Oh, but well deserved. Well done. He knew the challenge was coming from the Russian, but he held him off. Wet tyres, slick tyres, dry track, wet track. He didn't care. Logan Sargent for Ricky Flynn Motorsport is your winner. The KFJunior WSK Champions Cup 2015. The karts make their way back into Parc Ferme. He will be delighted. There is the results of the top 10. Well done. Fernando Alonso kart, Ricky Flynn Motorsport, all the way from the USA, Logan Sargent. Kushmani was second. From Sun Yu Yang, Davide Lombardo. Clement Novalak finished in 5th. What a drive from Christian Lundgaard. He made up 25 places from the back of the grid to finish in 6th place. Outstanding from the young Dane, ahead of the Frenchman Jean-Baptiste Minuer, Lorenzo Colombo, Sebastian Fernandez, and Artem Petrov rounding out the top 10. Your winner from the United States of America, Logan Sargent. Stick around, we will have the final podium presentation of the day. And touch wood, it will be dry out there. As we look at the highlights of the race, this was the first start. You can't say he didn't deserve it. He did start on pole position both times. The original start, a big accident early on. Lombardo fighting with Kushmani. Felipe Drogovic from Brazil also. Frantic back through the field. Of course, it did start to rain. The race was red flag. That was Sargent. Even though he went off, he kept the kart straight, did manage to rejoin. Looped it for a second time. The red flag had come out by that time, though. It didn't really matter. We backdated a lap. Bogdan Fetisov, he rolled the dice, didn't he? Put the wet tyres on, as did the other Russian, Nikita Volkov. Did lead, but Logan Sargent fought back superbly. Kush Maney had a look at the lead. This was the move of the day. Have a look at the Indian up the inside. Unbelievable. Kush Maney on a place you cannot pass. He passed two. He went into the lead. This was the last lap of the race. Kush did lead it. The checkered flag, though, to the American Logan Sargent. We will bring you the podium presentation in just a few moments' time. This is the WSK Champions Cup, coming to you live from La Conca, Muro Lacese. We're going to get underway with the podium presentations for KFJunior in just a few moments as the drivers join us. The drivers make their way up to the podium. The WSK Champions Cup 2015, all the way from China in third place, Sun Yu Yang. In second place from Bangalore, India, Kush Maney. Your winner for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, all the way from the USA, Logan Sargent. The third place trophy to be awarded to Sun Yu Yang. In second place from India, Kush Maney. And let's hear it for your winner, il nostro vincitore da Stati Uniti from America, Logan Sargent! will now stand by for the national anthem of the United States of America. Your podium for KFJ, the WSK Champions Cup for 2015. Move over to the third place driver, Sun Yu Yang. You must be happy with that. Third place home today.
Yeah. And I start races chaos, like really, so much people overtaking and crashing, but I think I'm lucky to stand here, and I'm really lucky. Yeah, just also before I was practicing really hard, and to get today's result, I was really happy.
Well done, Sun Yu Yang for Ricky Flynn Motorsport in third place. Second place from Bangalore, India. You led on the last lap, Kush. You couldn't quite hold him off, but a fantastic result nonetheless.
Yeah, really happy. Last lap was really dicey, and he passed me into the first corner, and he was too quick for me to keep up. But really happy with the new team, really happy with all the material. And I thank One for his engines, my team owner, Jamie Croxford, for all his help this weekend, and my mechanic, Dean, for all he's done as well. And yeah, really happy with this result.
Well done. Second place, Kush Maney, our winner. Well done, Logan. Mate, I know you were filthy with yourself last week when you spun in the chicane just 7 days ago. You were determined to make up for it. A sensational win today.
Yeah, I couldn't, the cart was perfect. The track was a bit slippery when we went back out, and the last lap, when he had passed me, I just went for it, and it ended good. I would also like to thank RFM, Vega Tires, Arai, my teammates, Scott, and Infinity Sports Management.
I'd just like to ask you one thing. The Russian, Bogdan Fetisov, who passed you with about 2 laps to go, did you know he had wet tyres on?
Yeah, I could see. But in the end, it wasn't good, so slicks won.
Well done. Logan Sargent, your winner, your podium, KFJ, the WSK Champions Cup for 2015. Thank you for watching us on WSK.IT. We will see you back for the WSK Gold Cup and the Super Masters Series in April. Thanks very much. We'll see you then.